أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين إلهي آمين. So now today inshallah ta'ala we will read how to connect these letters, right? So let's start with this slide. You can see here the Arabic versus Latin script. Arabic script is written right to left, whereas Latin script is written left to right, okay? And Arabic script is written in compound format, whereas Latin is written in isolated format, right? You can see here, there are different alphabets, pots, stop, tops, right? And we can see that there are different like POTS, STOP, TOPS, right? And we can, those always, these letters are always in a, you can say that in an isolated form. But in Arabic, sometimes the letters are in isolated form, sometimes they are in you can see them, they are in the connecting form, or you can say that they would be in compound format, right? So here we will today inshallah gonna read how these what would be the different shape and forms of Arabic alphabets when they will appear in different connecting forms, right? So there are 4 forms a letter can take in compound format. Number 1 is isolated, initial, medial, and final. Okay. And whatever we have learned before, like the Arabic alphabets, they all were in isolated forms, right? And now from today, inshallah, we will try to read that how we will find these letters in compound forms, right? So first we will go with Alif or Hamza, right? Alif is a straight line. Do you remember that? So right now, I will explain what is the difference between Alif and Hamza later. But right now, you just remember that you can see there are 4, boxes. Like one is isolated, initial, medial, and final. So whenever Hamza comes in the writing form. So if it would, this would be the isolated form, okay? This one is initial, like whenever Hamza is in the beginning of the letter, so you will find him in this shape, right? Then if it comes in the medial, like in between or middle of the word, then you will find its shape like this one, okay? And the final shape is this. In same way, you can see that Ba, this is the letter Ba. And Ba has 3 forms, initial, medial, and final, right? Initial you will find in this shape. Whenever Ba comes in between, then you can see that there is, it would be in this shape. There would be, this sign is, this one is the connecting portion where the Ba would connect with some other letter, and it would be in between of 2 letters, right? So this is called the medial form. And at the end, whenever Ba comes at the end of the word, then you will find this shape, right? Which is more likely the isolated form, right? So did you get my point? Do you have any question or something? So inshallah.
Sister Sabah, maybe with a word you can explain us how it will form, it's a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will show that later, inshallah, from the, or okay, I will try to do it side by side. Yeah, so here you can see, yes. So this is the Ba, right? And you can see that there are different shapes of Ba. Ba was like a boat with a dot at the bottom, right? Ba is like a board with a dot at the bottom, right? So there are different shapes of Ba. Whenever Ba comes in the initial form, like at the beginning of the word, then you can see the Ba would in this shape, right? Whenever it comes in between, so it would be in this shape, and this is the you can say the final form, okay? The final form, or you can see that it would be at the end of the letter. So you can see that it would appear in this shape, okay? So this is letter ba. And I can show you. Yeah, so you can see this here, the letter ba. This is the beginning form, okay? Ba, whenever ba comes at the beginning, so you can see the half boat shape and a dot at the bottom, right? This is the final form. Ba would, whenever ba comes at the end of the word, so you can see in this shape, right? This is also the final form. This is the initial form. And sometimes it comes in between of two letters. So let me, sorry. I will show you later, right? Whenever it comes in between. So this is the, and inshallah, you by the practice and learning more and more, inshallah, you will get the idea that how it will connect, right? Now the next letter is ta. Ta was again like a boat, but it has two dots on top of it, okay? So we can see that there are different shapes of ta. Or I can show you on the slide. This one is the. So this is the isolated form, which you have learned in the when we were learning the recognition of these letters. So ta is like a board with two dots on top of it. So now this is the initial form of ta. Whenever ta comes at the beginning of any word, then it would come in this shape, right? Ta. Then medial form, this is the medial form. So you can say whenever ta, it would, whenever you will, ta would be in between of two letters, then you will find ta in this shape. And this is the final shape, right? That means that at the end of the word, you will find ta in this shape, okay? So this is called ta. And in your book, which we have sent you, you can find this the and the, right? Just ignore these two letters right now. This is a different shape of the where and we can write that in this form too, right? It's a circle with two dots on top of it, okay? And we will read it inshallah later. So now comes to the next letter, that is the. Tha is also like a boat, and you remember that is a tongue letter. We have to pronounce it softly. There would be no whistling sound in pronunciation of ta. Ta is also just like a board, but it has three dots, and there are different shapes like a beginning, middle, and end, right? So, yeah. So you can see ta. So this one is its isolated form, okay? And this one is initial form. You can see ta whenever it connect with different letter, but you will, how you will differentiate between, you can see just check the initial forms, right? Ba, it has a half boat, right? Half boat and dot at the bottom, right? How you will recognize the half shape of ta, it would be half boat and two dots on top of it, right? Then the, so it's also a half boat, but it has three dots, okay? And yeah, so first we will recognize this. It is in the same way the medial form. We can see that it's just like the same way. This is the connecting form of ba, and it again, it has a one dot at the bottom. In ta, you will find two dots at the top. In tha, three dots at the top, okay? So now the next letter is G. This is G, a straight line and a C, right? And we can see that G, like a jug, J sound, right? So G, a straight line and a C with a dot in between. So how it will, what would be the initial form of G? You can see in this way, right? Like a straight line and again a straight line, but it would be a dot and under at the bottom, right? How you will differentiate between ba and Jim, because ba also has one dot and Jim also has one dot, but you can see the difference of shape, right? Ba would be like a boat form, You know, ba would be like a boat form, but Jeem, it has some different shape. It's J, it's a kind of different shape of J, or you can remember, maybe if you have any other, idea, you can share it, how you will memorize this one. But you can see that they both have dot at the bottom, but there is a difference in their shape. Okay. Now the Jeem, whenever Jeem comes in medial form, so you can see that it would be in this shape, right? Again, there is a dot at the bottom, but you can see the difference of this one is ba, right? Ba, medial form of ba, and this is the medial form of Jeem. Both have dot at the bottom, but there is a difference of their shape, right? And this is the final form of Jeem. It will comes like in this way, okay? A kind of its isolated form. Whenever Jeem come at the end of the word, it will be like its isolated form, okay? Again, the next letter is ha, hard, spicy hot, right? So we can see that ha, this one is its isolated form. Now the initial ha would be in this shape. The medial one, it's like, this is the half ha, and it will connect with different letter, right? And this is the final shape of ha. You can see that whenever ha comes at the end of the letter, end of the word, then you will find this shape of ha. Okay. So could you please tell me that did you guys get the idea that what I'm teaching, and are you getting this? Is it okay for you? Are you able to understand these concepts? Please let me know. You can unmute yourself and tell me that.
Yes, it makes sense to me.
Okay, good. Nimer, the other sisters, please tell me this, and inshallah, we will try to send you this presentation or these pages, so you can take help from here too, right? Because you know what, this is just kind of practice. You can say that this is a kind of practice, as we will proceed and we will start learning, then you will get the idea. Yeah, but in the beginning, maybe you will feel a little difficult, but inshallah, at the end, you will get used to all it, inshallah, and you will easily recognize all these letters, okay? So now let's move on the next letter, that is Kha. Do you remember the characteristics of Kha? Kha, it's a straight line and a C with a dot on top of it. And if you remember that it has a scratching or snoring kind of sound, right? Kha, Kha, and Kha is a heavy letter. Kha is a heavy letter. Yes, Kha is a heavy letter, okay? So what would be the different shapes of Kha? This one is the initial shape. Initial one, Kha. This is the medial, and this is the final. Okay, medial and final. So the initial part of Kha would remain here, and then you have to connect these letters together. So Kha, 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 Kha. Okay, so this is the Kha. Then let's move on to another letter, that is Dal. Dal. So its initial form is like this, Dal, medial is this, and final is this, right? You can see that it almost remain in its isolated form. You can find Dal almost in three shapes like its isolated form. So this is Dal, mouth of Pac-Man, if you remember, right? Dal and Dal. Then next letter is Dal. Dal. This is a soft letter, right? Mouth of a Pac-Man with a dot on top of it, right? And then we will read dal. It's a soft letter. You have to take out your tongue, and your tip of the tongue touches the edges of your front two teeth, and you will pronounce it very softly. Okay, there would be no whistling sound, no buzzing sound in dal. Okay, so dal, dal, and these are three different shapes of dal: initial, medial, and final. Okay, then raw. Raw. Do you remember that raw has a R sound? Raw, raw. Okay, and here it's the initial, medial, and final. Okay, so raw normally comes at the final positions, but you can see here the initial, medial, and final. Okay, then za, za, za has a buzzing sound. So it's just like a raw, and it has a dot on top of it. It usually comes in, you can see that. You can easily recognize the za because it's isolated form. Initial, medial, and final is just like its isolated form, right? So you can easily recognize this letter za, right? Then the next one is seen, seen. You can find seen in this shape like W. You can see a kind of W, right? But in original form, seen would have hook there too. But here you can see that this is the half shape of seen, right? It's the initial one. You can see that it is a half shape of seen. You will find the W kind of thing. So this is the initial form, the medial, and this is the final form. You can see that normally the final form is just like the isolated form. So you will recognize these letters very easily if you remember the isolated forms, right? Then again, sheen. Sheen was just like seen, but it has three dots. And again, there are the three different shapes you can see with sheen. Then next is, I know I'm going very fast today, but inshallah, as we have to practice these half shapes, so that's why I'm going a little fast. But inshallah, during the practice, you will get the recognition of these letters very easily. So again, this is called swad, swad, awesome letter, heavy letter, right? And again, there are three shapes of swad. You can see here. You will find the half shape of swad. And at the beginning, it would remain in its half shape. Then this is the medial, and this is the final one. Then next is bod. Bod. Bod is just like swad, but it is a heavy letter. And you can see that bod is in this shape, and you can find these three shapes of bod: initial, medial, and final. Then next letter is paw. Paw. Paw is again a heavy letter. And you can fish and a straight line. You can see that. And paw, all forms of paw would be like an isolated form, right? So paw, 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 and paw. So you can recognize this letter very easily. Again, raw, raw. Raw is just like paw. It's also a heavy letter, but it is a soft letter. Again, you have to take out your tongue and touches with your front two edges of your front two teeth, and you will pronounce this letter very softly, no buzzing sound, nothing. Then ayn, ayn. Two C's, right? We have do you remember that's two C's? Ayn, and you can see that initial form is this half form of ayn. Medial is like in this way, and at the final form, ayn is like in this way. Okay. The next letter is ghoin, is just like ayn, but it has one dot on top of it. Gargling sound, right? So this is the half shape of ghoin. This is the medial form, and this is the final form. The next one is fa, fan, right? F sound. So you can see that it's isolated form like this, then initial, medial, and final. Okay. And of heavy letter, awesome letter, right? There is two dot on top of it, and you can see it's a circle or a circle. It has kind of circles, right? So of, this is the initial form, medial, and final. Then the next letter is kaf, ka sound, right? Ka, candle, C sound. Kaf, and kaf has, sometimes you will find kaf in this shape, sometimes you will find kaf in this shape. Both are the right ways. This is the different forms of writing sometimes. So kaf, initial form is like this, medial is like this, and this is the final form. Then lam. So again, this is the initial, medial, and final. Meme, isolated form is like this. But initial, you will find, you will get the half of meme here, then medial, and then final. Noon. Yeah, so here is noon. So this is initial, medial, and final. Then ha is also, you can find the ha is quite different. Like isolated form is like this, but initial form would be like this. This is the medial, and this is the final. And inshallah, you will get an idea by practice. Inshallah, you will be able to recognize these letters very easily. And then the next letter is wow. The isolated form of wow is like that, and wow remains in its isolated form in three different shapes. And ya, the last letter, isolated form is like this, and this is the initial form. It would be like a boat, but it would have two dots at the bottom. You can sometimes confuse with ta. So always remember, whenever you will see the have boat shape and the two dots at the bottom, then it would be ya. But if these two dots are at the top, then it would be ta. Okay, this is the difference between ta and ya. So this is ya. Ya has two dots at the bottom, right? So this is the initial form, medial, and the final form. Okay, so let's move on our own book, and we will try to practice here. Okay. So, can anyone of you wants to try these letters? How we will read this? Like, this is Aleph. Okay, so we have to recognize Aleph in here. Like, this is Ha Aleph. Lam Aleph. This is the form of writing. This is Lam Aleph, and this is also a Lam Aleph. These are the two different shapes of Lam Aleph. So Lam Aleph, Mim Aleph. Okay, so we have to practice these lines with isolated. We will pronounce these letters like as isolated letters. So please unmute yourself and try to read these lines. Who will try the next one? Ba one. I know it's a bit difficult, but inshallah, as we will practice more, then it would be easy for you. Yes, Allison, Nimera, Sherilyn, and Shifa. Anyone wants to practice it?
Is it Sheen?
This one? No, you can see that. Which letter is this?
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the other word at the connecting one. That's ba.
No problem. Yeah, that is what? Ba, right? This is ba. Ba is just like a boat and a dot at the bottom. So how you will read these two letters? Yes, who was reading?
I think the connecting word for that first box is, I think it might be Ayn or Sheen.
This one. Can you see my cursor on the word?
Mhm.
Okay. So let's try. This is what? Which letter is this?
Ba.
Ba. Ba is like a boat, right? Boat and a dot at the bottom, right? Just ignore this letter, okay? And do you remember that in Arabic we will start reading from right side, okay? It's from to left, okay? So this is the first letter, and could you please recognize this first letter? It has a half shape of boat, right? And it has one dot at the bottom. So what would be the letter?
The first letter is Ba.
Ba. Very good. And what about this one, the next?
That's the one I was trying to guess, and I think it might be
It
either
has a sound of J.
G.
G. Very good. And you can see that it's a kind of J. We can make any shape in our mind. Like, like J is like, actually my pen is not working here. Otherwise, I will show you. Uh, Hajar, do you have any idea that how can I use the pen or something?
I think it's the one next to that highlighter because you had clicked on the highlighter. I think it might be the icon just beside. Oh no, that's sign. Never mind. Oh, try clicking the small dot. Oh, it's just gone.
Here. No,
Try clicking that request signature again. And then I think you had the option to select the size. So right beside where it says sign yourself, there's a big black circle and then there's a smaller one. Maybe try
yeah,
that.
this one. Or I guess it's for
Oh, just add dot, I guess.
dot, right? Yeah. So we can say
Thank you, Alison. I know I really don't know Sabah. Sorry.
I'm trying.
I will practice next time and we'll try to write, because I guess we can use the pen while using the Zoom too, but I don't know how to use. I will check it inshallah next time. But anyways, we can see like Dream is a kind of jug shape, J shape. Sorry. If you can see this, J it has a straight line and an umbrella shape, in this way. So we can try to recognize this letter. But anyways, this is a straight line with a C and a dot at the bottom. So this is called Gene. So how you will read this letter? Ba in Gene. Ba Gene. Okay, Alison?
Mhm. That's what I was going to ask you because I was curious how it would be pronounced together if the pronunciation would change, but it's good to know it's just what you see is how it's pronounced. So it would literally just be ba.
Yeah, the game will change later, but right now you will we will read it in an isolated form. Okay, so first we have to practice the recognition of letter in compound form. Then we how its sound will change, right? But for this time, we will, try to read this letter in isolated form. Okay, so this is ba and G. Now let's move on the next word. Do you want to try this one?
That one I just have to find. I think it might be sod. So it would be
Very good, very good. Swad, yes.
Sod ba.
Swad ba. Very good, Matt. This is the it's you can see that it's just like in its isolated form, right? And whenever ba would come at the end of the word, you will find this shape. Okay. Now this one. Just ignore the ba right now. Just focus on this one.
That one might be za.
No, no, no,
No.
Za would have like, I will show you just a minute. Za has a dot on top of it, right? So this is the lam. Hmm?
Okay.
Look at this. This is lam. Okay. So, so this is the shape of lam. So lam. And what would be the next one?
Ba.
Ba. Same. Boat. The dot at the bottom. Now this one. Move on the next one. Have boat and a dot at the bottom. Is
Sod.
swad. Very good. This one.
Ba.
Ba. Very good. R sound.
Ra.
Raw. Yeah. So swad, ba, raw. Okay. So, dear sisters, let's read it together. You can read at your side. First one is alif, ha alif, lam alif, lam alif, mim alif, mim, ain, alif, sheen. Okay. Then for ba, ba, jim, صاد با لام با با میم صاد ba and raw. Okay. So anyone else wants to try? Anyone of you would like to read the next line? I know it's a bit difficult, but it's okay. We can try together. And inshallah, you will get the idea. The next letter is ta. It has a boat and two dots on top of it, right? And what would be the different shapes of ta? We can revise it again. Here we can see that ta, right? Sorry, ta. And it has three different shapes. This is the initial one, medial, and end, right? Okay, so initial ta, it has a half shape of boat, and it would have three dots on top of it, right? So let's we try to read it. Yeah, here. This is the boat with two dots on top, right? So who wants to try or read the next line?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Should I go with it?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. It's ta, seen,
Yeah, just make it light. Ta.
ta.
If you say to, so you can mix the sound of ta with to. Ta is a heavy. So try to keep it light. Relax your tongue, relax your throat, and say ta.
Ta. Ta, seen,
Very good.
ta, jim,
Good job, mashallah.
ba, ta, ta, ra.
Yeah.
Next, I cannot see actually the. Yeah, okay. Where was it? Ba, ta, ta, ra, kaf, ta, ba.
Yeah. So we can see that how ta just change its shapes, right? Like at the beginning, ta would remain like a half form of boat. Then this is form, right? And how we will recognize this letter, like it would have two dots on top of it, right? And at the end, it would remain an isolated form almost. And this is again initial form, and this is the medial form. Whenever ta comes between two letters, then it will change its shape like this. Okay. Jazakallahu khaira. Who was
Jazakallah.
May I know your name, sister? Because I can see the names. Hooray. Sister Shifa, did you read?
Yeah. I read it. I read it. The ta. Shifa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Anyone wants to try the next one? It's the soft letter. It has board with 3 dots on top of it. Anyone? And we can see the different shapes of the would like, or we can go to the slide, so it would be easy. So let's see. This is the isolated form of the. It has 3 dots on top. This is the initial form, medial, and final. Okay. So, yeah. So who wants to try next one? Any one of you would like to read?
Okay, may I have a go, Sister Sabah?
Yes, sure.
It is fa and off.
Yeah, the soft letter. You have to take out your tongue, and your tip of the tongue will touch the edges of your front two teeth, right? So the.
Fa, fa, off, fa, meme,
It's not fa. It's the.
fa,
No, yeah.
fa, meme,
Very good.
ha, fa, again.
Yeah.
Then this is fa and to, meme, fa, lam.
Yes, meme, tha, and lam. Okay, so this is the tha. And we can again see that this is the initial form of tha, right? This is the, as we have discussed here, you can say the final form of tha, right? And this is the medial. So here you can see, yeah, so here, this is the medial form. Tha is in between of two letters, meme and lam. So we can say how tha will change its shape, right? Tha, this is the initial form of tha. And whenever it comes in its initial form, then there will be a half board, and you can see there would be 3 dots on top of it. Then whenever it comes at the final form, at the end of the word, so it would be in its final form, which is kind of its isolated form, right? This is again the beginning of beginning shape, and this is again the medial shape, okay? So let's try one more letter, inshallah. Yes, so this is Jeen. Jeen is like a straight line and a C, and a dot in between. So how we will recognize Jeen, and we can see in the slide again that what would be the different shapes of Jeen. It remains like this. This is the isolated form. This is the initial form. Initially, it would be, you can see this is the half shape of Jeen. This is the medial one, and this is the final one. Okay, so now we will try to find Jeen here. Yes. Anyone wants to try? Lam and Jeen. This is the final form of Jeen. Okay. And the next one is?
The next one is ba and jim.
Very good, mashallah. Good job. What is this?
Jim and
R sound.
ra.
Raw. Very good. Next one.
Jim and sheen.
No. It has a boat and two dots on top of it. A boat and two dots.
Seen and ba.
Yeah, very good. Yes, good job.
Next one is
Mhm. The last letter of Arabic alphabets.
ya,
Yeah, very good.
jim,
Mhm. Boat with a dot at the bottom.
ba again.
Ba, yes, ba. It's a final form of ba. Good job, mashallah, tabarakallah fi. So, whenever you will try to just try to focus a little bit, then you will get the idea that which letter it is, inshallah, and it would be more easy. Whenever we will try and try to read again and again, then inshallah, definitely you will get the idea. The next letter is ha, which is a spicy hot sound, right? And it is again a straight line and a C, but there would be no dot in between. There's no dot there. So let's try the next line. Ha, ha. So this is the initial shape of boat with two dots on top of it. So can anyone recognize this letter, half shape of this letter?
Ta.
Ta, very good. And again, ha. And we can see that ha is, this is the final form. So ha is just like its isolated form. Okay, so you can recognize it very easily. The next one.
Da. Ha.
Good job, mashallah. Next one.
Ba.
Fa, fa,
Ha.
fa, and ha. Again, it doesn't have any dot, right? So it is ha. Next one.
Ra.
Ha, again. Ha. And now this is a first initial form of ha, right? We can see.
Ha. And then the last one is.
Yes. Yeah, so this is the initial form, okay? Yes, the next letter. Ha and
Da.
Tha, very good.
Ta. Ha. And then ta again.
Yes, very good. Ta, ha, and tha. Good job, mashallah. Okay, what about next one?
Ha.
Ha.
So it would be ba, ha.
Ah, very good, mashallah. So now, alhamdulillah, Sister Alison, you are now getting the idea. Very good. Yeah, next one. The last letter of Arabic alphabets.
Ya.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and
Ha.
ha, very good. And this is the initial form of ha.
So it would be ha and then
Mouth of a Batman.
ra.
Dal, dal.
Oh, dal.
Then
Ha.
ha.
Zal.
Very good, mashallah. Have
Next one would be ba.
ba, yes. Then
Ha. Ta.
good job, mashallah, mashallah. I'm so happy for you. That you, alhamdulillah. Yes, next one. Next letter is Dal. You can see the mouth of a Pac-Man, right? So we can just revise the different shapes of Dal. Yeah,
I think I keep getting the shape of dal and wa mixed up.
yeah, so you can see that this is Dal, right? And
Mhm.
Wow would be wow. Wow is, it has some mm, mm, mm. Yes, this is wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So wow, you will find there is a small circle at the beginning of wow, right?
Mhm.
And but here in Dal, there is no circle. It would just mouth of a Pac-Man, right?
Mhm.
So this like this. This is the difference between Dal and wow. So you will find a circle at the beginning of wow, and Dal is a Pac-Man shape, right?
Mhm.
Mm, yes. So now, yeah,
Dal,
the first letter from right hand side. Ha,
ha, dal, ba, dal,
mm,
dal,
you see middle of your throat.
ha.
No, it's I,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Next one. Ta,
Ta,
ta, very good.
dal,
Good job.
ba, dal, za.
No, it's lam.
Oh, there.
Yeah, za would have a dot, right? So this is lam.
Mhm.
Okay. So inshallah, because I know it's a new lesson for you guys, and it's a little bit difficult to find out the letters, like how you will practice it. Now you all have this book, right? I guess Hajra has sent you all this book, Asan Tajweed Intensive one. And here at the page 47 page number, you will find this short form. So just try to read and try to focus on the half shapes of these letters. And then inshallah, you will be able to recognize these letters whenever you will try to read. Inshallah, inshallah. Okay. So Jazakumullahu khairan kathira.
Inshallah, I will email you as well, Sister Namira. Inshallah. Sister Alison, did you receive the book?
I believe I did. I just haven't printed it off for myself yet.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Sister Namira, you have added your email ID. So inshallah, you will receive it soon. I will remind Sister Annie about it again, once again. Jazakallah khair.
Hajra. Okay, so now inshallah this you have to practice the page. Oh my God. Page 47, inshallah. And yeah, you can find at page 47 these the letters and their half shapes, and inshallah there is the again the half practice. You can practice the half shapes from there too, and inshallah then we will try to read from Dal next time, and try to, this is your homework, that try to read this page, like page number 48 again and again, and then inshallah you will be able to recognize the half shapes of the letter. So Jazakumullahu khairan kathira. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiul alim. Wa tub alayna innaka antat tawwabur rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.